Have you ever set your alarm for 5 in the morning with big dreams, only to hit snooze and wake up at 8, drowning in guilt? Maybe you've heard that successful people wake up early. Maybe you've tried it yourself. Once, twice, maybe a dozen times. But you always slide back into the same old habits. You tell yourself, I'm just not a morning person. I need my sleep. But what if the first hour of your day held the power to rewrite your entire future? What if one man's story could prove that your destiny is decided before the sun even rises? This is the story of a man who had nothing until 5 in the morning became his secret weapon. Stay with me until the end, because this might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. In a quiet industrial town where factory chimneys never stopped smoking, there lived a 29-year-old man named Wei. Wei worked as a night security guard at a paper mill. Every evening at 8 o'clock, he arrived at the gate. Every morning at 6, exhausted and hollow-eyed, he walked home to sleep. His pay barely covered rent. He lived alone in a cramped room with a rattling fan, a thin mattress on the floor, and a single bulb that flickered whenever the power dipped. His jacket was frayed at the cuffs. His shoes were worn through at the soles. But more than the poverty, what weighed on Wei was something deeper, the feeling of being trapped. Every morning, walking home past a town just waking up, he saw other people's lives through their windows. Families sharing breakfast, children getting ready for school, men in pressed shirts heading off to office jobs. And Wei would think, is this going to be my life forever? Walking home while everyone else walks into their dreams? He had tried to change things. He'd applied for better jobs, but with only a middle school education, doors kept closing. He wanted to learn new skills, but after a night on his feet, all he had energy for was sleep. His mother, who lived out in the countryside, called him once a week. "Wei, my son, when will your life get easier? I'm not getting any younger. I want to see you succeed before I go." Wei would force brightness into his voice. "Soon, Ma, soon. I'm working on it." But he wasn't, because he didn't know how. The truth that haunted him most was this: he wasn't lazy. He worked hard every single night, walking the grounds, staying alert, doing his job well. But hard work alone wasn't moving him forward. He was pouring effort into a life that was going nowhere. Every morning, as he collapsed into bed around 7 and slept until mid-afternoon, he felt like he was living backwards, the world moving forward while he slept through it. One thought kept returning, quiet but persistent. There has to be another way. But what? One cold morning in late autumn, Wei's phone rang just as his shift was ending. It was his sister. "Wei, you need to come home. Ma collapsed. She's in the hospital." His heart dropped. He caught the first bus out, a 3-hour ride that felt endless. When he reached the small rural clinic, his mother was in bed, weak but awake. The doctor said she'd fainted from exhaustion and stress, and that she needed rest, better food, and medicine they couldn't afford. She took his hand, her voice barely a whisper. "Wei, I don't have much time left. Please, don't waste your life the way I wasted mine. Find a way. Promise me." Wei sat by her bed long after she drifted off, staring at her worn hands. Hands that had spent decades in the fields, just as his nights were spent on his feet. Both of them working hard, both of them going nowhere. Something inside him cracked. Not sadness this time, but anger. Anger at his own helplessness. He stepped outside into the pre-dawn dark. It was 5 in the morning. The village was still asleep, but a few farmers were already heading to their fields, and birds had just begun to sing. The air was cool and still, and standing there in that quiet hour, Wei made a decision. "No more," he whispered. "I don't care what it takes. I will find a way." On the bus back to town, he noticed a man across the aisle, well-dressed in his 50s, calmly reading a book. Wei recognized him. Mr. Lin, a local businessman who owned a handful of shops around town. What struck Wei most was the time, 6 in the morning. A successful man riding a regular bus at dawn. Gathering his nerve, Wei spoke up. "Excuse me, sir. Why are you on this early bus?" Mr. Lin looked up and smiled. "Because I wake at 4:30 every morning. I use that time to read, think, and plan my day before the world wakes up." "But don't you need sleep?" "I sleep at 9, 7.5 hours. Plenty." Mr. Lin studied Wei's tired face. "You work nights?" "Yes, security guard." "And when do you sleep?" 7 in the morning until mid-afternoon, usually." Mr. Lin nodded slowly. "So you're awake when the world sleeps, and asleep when the world works. No wonder you feel stuck." He leaned forward. "Let me tell you something that changed my life 30 years ago. The hours between 5 and 7 in the morning, those are magic hours. That's when you build the life you want, while everyone else is still dreaming." Wei felt something stir, a dangerous thing called hope. "But how? I finish work at 6. I need sleep." "Then change your sleep. Rest when you get home. Sleep a shorter stretch for now, enough to survive. Live your real life while the world is awake. And once your schedule shifts, wake at 5. Always. That's the secret." Mr. Lin scribbled a number on a card. "If you're serious about changing your life, call me. I'll show you exactly what to do with those morning hours. But only if you're serious. It takes a kind of discipline most people don't have." The bus reached Wei's stop. He looked down at the card and made himself a quiet promise. "I'll start tomorrow." The next day, for the first time in years, Wei called Mr. Lin at 11 in the morning, wide awake during daylight on a weekday. They met at a small tea house. Mr. Lin looked him over with approval. "You actually changed your schedule. Good. Most people talk. You acted." He pulled out a notebook and sketched a simple diagram. "Wei, think of your life as a house. Right now, it's dark, cold, falling apart, because you never work on the foundation. You're too busy just surviving." He drew a small house. "The hours from 5 to 7, that's your foundation building time. While everyone else is asleep or just stirring, you're constructing your future. 2 hours a day, that's 14 hours a week, roughly 60 hours a month, over 700 hours a year." He wrote the numbers down. "That's close to 3 extra months of working days every year, time everyone else simply sleeps through." Wei's eyes widened. "Here's what you do with those 2 hours," Mr. Lin continued. "This isn't optional. This is the system. Hour 1, build a skill. Spend that hour learning something that will change your financial situation. Not television, not scrolling your phone. A skill, a trade, a language. Courses online are free now. You have no excuse. Hour 2, build your body and your mind. 30 minutes of movement. Walk, stretch, whatever keeps your body strong, because your body is the vehicle for everything else. Then 30 minutes to read, plan your day, or apply what you just learned." Wei scribbled everything into a borrowed notebook. Mr. Lin added 3 rules. 1, No negotiating. You wake at 5 every single day, weekends included. The moment you say, just today, I'll skip, you've already failed. 2, you're asleep by 9 at night. You cannot cheat sleep and still succeed. You control when you rest, not when you skip it. 3, the first week will be brutal. Your body will resist. Your mind will invent excuses. Push through anyway. After 21 days, it becomes normal. After 90, it becomes who you are. Mr. Lin looked at him seriously. I'm giving you 3 months. 3 months of 5 a.m. wake-ups, building a skill in hour 1, building yourself in hour 2. Come back after 90 days and show me what you've built. If you've actually done the work, I'll help you find something better. If you quit, don't bother calling. Success goes to the people who show up when it's hard. Wei felt the weight of the challenge, and for the first time in years, something else too. Purpose. I'll do it, he said. I won't quit. Mr. Lin gave a knowing smile. We'll see. Everyone says that. The next morning, Wei's alarm screamed at 5. Every part of him protested. His mind whispered, just 1 more hour. You're so tired. But he remembered his mother's face in that hospital bed, Mr. Lin's challenge, and his own promise. He threw off the blanket and stood up. The first week was agony. Wei dragged himself up each morning, body aching from the broken sleep. In the dark stillness of 5 a.m., he sat at his small table with his phone, working through free spreadsheet tutorials online. His eyes burned, his mind wandered, but he didn't stop. At 6, he forced himself outside for a 30-minute walk around the neighborhood. Then he read about basic bookkeeping, a skill he'd chosen because every business needed it. By 7:30, he was back in bed, sleeping until early afternoon, then preparing for his night shift. The cycle repeated. It was exhausting. It was lonely. No one around him understood why he was doing it. But something shifted around day 20. One morning, Wei woke at 4:58, 2 minutes before his alarm. His body had adapted, and for the first time, there was no resentment, just readiness. The tutorials started to click. He was learning formulas, basic data organization, simple accounting principles. He finished his first online certificate. His morning walks became something he looked forward to. The sunrise, the empty streets, the quiet satisfaction of building something while the rest of the world slept. By the end of month 2, Wei had completed 3 online courses in bookkeeping and spreadsheets. He'd lost some weight from the daily walking. His mind felt clearer, sharper. His confidence grew. People at work started noticing. Wei, you look different, healthier. What changed? He'd just smile. I'm rebuilding my life, 2 hours at a time. In the 3rd month, Wei put what he'd learned into practice. He built a simple spreadsheet system to organize the mill's inventory, something the company had never properly tracked. He showed it to his supervisor, who was genuinely impressed. Wei, where did you learn this? I wake up at 5 and teach myself. Word spread to the floor manager, then to the owner. On the 87th day of Wei's 5 a.m. journey, his supervisor called him into the office. Wei, we're expanding the accounting side of the business. We need someone who understands our operations and has basic bookkeeping skills. The job's yours if you want it. Day shift, double your current pay. Wei stood there, speechless. 3 months ago, he'd been a hopeless night guard. Now he was being offered an office job. When do I start? He finally managed. Next Monday. That evening, he called Mr. Lin. Mr. Lin, I did it. 90 days. I never missed a single 5 a.m. wake-up. And today, I got promoted. There was a pause, then Mr. Lin's voice, warm and proud. I knew you would. You had the look of someone ready to change. Now remember, don't stop waking at 5. That's not a strategy anymore. That's your life. I won't stop. This is who I am now. A year later, Wei had become the company's lead bookkeeper. He'd saved enough to move his mother into town, get her proper medical care, and rent a decent 2-bedroom apartment. Every morning at 5, he still woke, not because he had to, but because those 2 hours had become sacred. That's when he learned new tools, read about business, and planned his future. Coworkers would ask, "Wei, why do you still wake up so early? You've already made it." He'd smile and say, "Success isn't a destination, it's a daily practice, and mine begins at 5 a.m. My friend, Wei's story proves something powerful. Your life can change. Not someday. Not when circumstances improve. Starting tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Here's what most people don't understand. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't talent, and it isn't luck, and it isn't even hard work alone. It's how you use the time when everyone else is asleep. Between 5 and 7 in the morning, the world is quiet. No notifications, no meetings, no noise. Your willpower is at its highest. Your mind is clear. This is when you do the work that changes your direction. Successful people understand this. It's why so many leaders, athletes, and builders wake up early. Not because they're superhuman, but because they know winning the morning means winning the day. So here's your challenge. The same one Mr. Lin gave Wei. Step 1. Tonight, set your alarm for 5 a.m. Not 5:15, not 5:30. 5 exactly. Put your phone across the room so you have to physically get up to turn it off. Step 2. Decide what you'll build in that first hour. A skill you need, an idea you've been sitting on, a certification. Pick one thing and commit to it for 90 days. Step 3. Protect your 9 o'clock bedtime. You can't wake up early if you go to bed late. Cut the late night scrolling. Sleep isn't your enemy. Wasted evenings are. I promise you this. If you wake at 5 every single day for 90 days and use those 2 hours with intention, your life will not look the same. Maybe you won't become a millionaire. Maybe the promotion won't come right away. But you will become someone different, stronger, more disciplined, more capable. And that person can achieve almost anything. Wei had nothing. No degree, no connections, no money. Just a choice to wake up early and build. You already have more than he did.